Mr. Balachandran, you're being called the second uncle of the United States by Amitabh Mattu. He's being a bit cheeky. But what's the mood in the family? And also, how have you seen Kamala Harris's campaign on the Biden ticket?
Look, as far as Kamala's choice as Biden's running mate, it was more or less foregone when Biden said that he was going to have a woman as his vice president nominee. Because when I looked at the other contenders, there are a lot of things that stood out in favor of Kamala. First of all, she has won statewide elections in California, which is the biggest state. Two, she was the Attorney General of California and settled some of the biggest lawsuits against various firms during the financial crisis. Three, she has been very active in the civil rights movement from her very young age. And finally, she as a law enforcement officer, she had brought about a number of reforms in California, police, procedures. And those who have watched her during the hearings, Senate judiciary hearings, know that she's a very sharp and to the point, person. When she was questioning William Barr or the other Supreme Court nominee, she didn't, during the Barnett, she didn't do that. So for all these reasons, I felt that it was more or less inevitable that Biden would choose her.
But she's been viciously attacked by President Trump. And you know, I was listening to what he was saying early this morning. He said that yes, we want a woman as president of the US at some point in time, but this cannot be the first woman to be president of the United States. It was a racial attack of sorts against Kamala Harris, and she's had to face a lot of that since she was chosen to be Joe Biden's running mate.
Oh, now look, Biden is a realist. He's not a dogmatic person, okay? So he knows that she attacked him. That was all part of the game, okay? But the way she did was the one that got the major attention, okay? So I don't think it played much role. I mean, the advisors have felt that way. But I don't think Biden felt very strongly about that, okay? So I do think that it was more or less an automatic choice at that time.
Okay, Amitabh Mattu called you. I saw that and I'm sure you heard that as well, the second uncle to be. And you very diplomatically ducked that. What's at stake personally for the family, given her roots going back to Chennai? We saw at the institute where her mother studied. You know, we saw Padma Lakshmi's conversation with Kamala Harris being called Chitty, and that really is creating quite a buzz, especially in the South Asian community in the US, and everyone who knows her here.
No, it is true. Look, she has got quite strong family connections, okay? That is because both her mother and the time she spent with my parents, her grandparents in Chennai. So there's no question that she was very much devoted to their family side from her very young age. Now, as far as being that, people... and she is quite adaptable, I mean, it's not that she's dogmatic. Like I told somebody, when she was running for district attorney of San Francisco, I was with her, so I used to go around with her. There was a gentleman who had killed a cop. She said, I'll work for his conviction, but not for his death penalty, because I'm against death penalty.
No, but I'm sure you're aware of the apprehensions in many quarters, Mr. Balachandran, in India, about Kamala Harris, if she were to become vice president, if Biden wins, interfering in India's internal affairs. President Trump has largely minded his own business, not interfered in India's internal affairs, whether it's on the issue of Article 370, what's happening in Kashmir, or anything else that the Modi government's been doing. And the sense is, given her past pronouncements especially, that she may be poking her nose into India's internal affairs much more than the previous administration.
Look, you have to define the term interference. If somebody makes a comment that something you should correct, I mean, if you call every negative or any criticism of India as an interference, then you should also withdraw from international relations completely. And two, she was not a government official as a government official statement. A lot of Indian politicians make statements about US. Does it mean they are interfering in US affairs? And so let's very clear. Unless we know what is meant by interference, there's no point in saying that somebody says, look, I am worried about some of the situations in India, therefore she is interfering. Okay? I don't buy that. There are Indians who buy that, but I don't buy that.